Here he is, our season 10 champion. Make sure your audio is included.
Hello. Hi.
How are you,
Good.
first off?
Good. How are you? Feel fine.
Not too bad. I'm hoping you enjoy in the moment. That's what I'm hoping.
Um.
So,
Yeah.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I mentioned quite a bit of things here before you cross the line, and I want you to take in the moment here. Yes, it's just a video game, but you know what? You're the RPL Season 10 champion. Here's what you had to do. You joined, either joined or joined back in Season 7, got your first podium at Japan, this exact circuit, 3 seasons prior, and since then, a near season ban in Season 8 to now the RPL Championship, where you had an end of the season race ban last season, you and your teammate. AlphaTauri to Red Bull, Xbox to PC, co-TP to the TP, and part-time racing, not putting this as the weekly league for you, to now full-time racing and the RPL Championship. Soaking it in, how does it feel?
Yeah. It feels good. It's been a good season. Obviously. I mean, I haven't had to really. I mean, after the first few rounds and I saw how quick the Red Bull was, I was like, this might be a good walk. And the Red Bull is so quick, and yeah, I'm glad I got a chance to experience this car. Probably the quickest. I'd say it's probably even quicker in race compared to the field than the 2020 Merc was. Um, I mean, yeah, it's been a good season. Can't say I've been the best driver out there. I mean, I feel like I've been the most consistent, but I think on raw pace, I
Yeah.
don't think I am. But yeah, I mean, Skither missed a whole bunch of races and just kind of opened up that gap. I think I'm on a pretty good string recently too. Like I think, but no, it's been a good season. I mean, this is a very competitive league, so to win a championship, realistic or not, is an accomplishment for me.
No, I just want to mention as well, you talked about prior people like the Chiller or people like Cryptic or people like Reese, you know, not able to pull the gap that you could with this car in certain weeks like Hungary or even Austria or other races like that. You've been able to show what this car is really capable of in the race. I mean, we've seen your great qualifying laps that you've been able to pull out too, because before this season, you showed you were really great in qualifying as well, having more poles than wins when you've got the opportunity in a top car. Talk about what you've been able to do with this car to show this isn't as close of a car as people thought it was last season.
Wait, what was the question, sorry?
With this car, talk about what you're able to do, because you spoke about before
Ah, I see.
Cryptic, Reese, the Chiller, not being able to pull that 20-second gap that you could in certain races like Austria and even Hungary over the other cars
Yeah, so
besides Reese.
I feel like this car isn't the best. It's obviously still the best in qualifying, but it doesn't have much of a gap. But I feel like this car excels on long green flag runs. I'm sorry, I sound like I'm explaining a NASCAR car, but I feel like the car.
It's okay.
Um,
Long green runs driver.
it's a long green run car. No, the longer the stint goes on, the quicker it is. And you're pretty much able to stretch out the gaps on the tire wear, and that allows me to that allows me to pit a lap or two later, and in a full green flag race, for example,
Hmm.
I'll have a 5 or 6 second gap in the first stint, and then I'll have that luxury of pitting like 2 or 3 laps later and still retaining the lead, and then I'll be able to just have even fresher tires and absolutely hits the field. And Reese has been quick. Like today, I think he was trying to battle me today. Um,
He was.
yeah, that was interesting. We weren't in a voice chat or
Yeah.
anything, so but yeah, Reese is quick though. I mean, I think if I wasn't if it was Reese and Cryptic again, I think Reese would have walked away with the championship in a similar manner. Um, yeah, I think he stepped it up as well. So it was a little challenging. Yeah, I think that no one's able to just capitalize. Like, no one's able to just kind of consistently put the laps together to gap, and I think that's what made the difference is just breaking DRS. And then when someone's on your DRS, they have no chance of keeping up with a car that's 1% lap better on tire wear and also is quicker than you by default. I mean,
I mean, I just want to mention as well with the constructors, you guys get a six straight constructors title. Um, and with that said, you guys also broke a record as a team. I mean, you've been the record guy this season, trying to go for some of those. Um, you guys as a team got the most poles in a single season with your pole today. In Japan, I mean, you guys had it as a team in season 6, around the time when everything started, but now you guys do it this season in a more dominant Red Bull, a more, more, I guess, faster calendar in terms of how races are ran because the races are longer. And now you're the TP of this team when it was cryptic before, and you wanted this role at the end of last season. Now you have it, and now you've signed a lot of reserve drivers, whether they're going to be on loan or whether they're going to race for you guys to make sure this stays the way it is for F124. Talk me through that with winning the Constructors' Championship and just being able to do what you have now as TP.
Yeah, you know, first, like I said, I think I have a great little driver lineup. I think Reese I think Reese is great. Reese is very quick too. I think people assume that I signed Reese just to kind of be a number 2 driver, but Reese is quick. I think today proved how quick he was. Um, and yeah, I mean he would have almost had pole today because I messed up my
That's
last run,
crazy.
and that's what I need in a teammate is someone who can kind of be there when I'm not, like, because I messed up I messed up the last run really bad on the first corner and I pulled it back. I think a 26 flat was on the cards. But Reese has just always been there, and I think, you know, if you took me out of the equation, I think Reese would have won this championship over Skither. So I feel like I have a really good lineup going into the next game, and Reese is always, you know, Reese is at minimum not gonna be top 5, whereas like the Chiller was struggling really hard. I think Reese, no matter what the game feels like, will be up there, and then I think my AlphaTauri / VCarb / Racing Bull / whatever the fuck next season has a really strong lineup as well. So I think we're looking good.
Yeah,
I have a lot of
I just
connections,
Good.
so it's good.
Yeah, I see that.
Connections.
It helps out a lot for your academy now that's yours. One more question I have for you. You mentioned Reese, and you know the interesting thing is that Reese seems to be there some weeks. Other weeks he's not as much there. And with that being said, he was able a lot last season, even when he wasn't the fastest, to salvage, maybe not on strategy, but to salvage results a lot. Stay out of the penalty box. Stay out of trouble. Just have calculated moves. And it's interesting because with your wins, this is the type of domination we haven't seen since season 3 through 5, but you said you're not the fastest, and that's a fair point to make. There can be guys who may be faster than you, but what you've been able to do this season is salvage the results. Even when a race has not gone your way or you've not been the fastest and there's been other guys faster than you, they battle behind. You're able to play it smart. You're able to realize, when's my time to push? When's my time to not? You helped Reese even get a win in Canada as well when you had a track limit penalty and realized, I need to play the team game now. Talk me through being able to salvage results much more easier and much more better now in a dominant car and just this season, because you mentioned to me when talking prior to this race, I think about a week or 2 ago, being one of the smarter drivers in this league, and I would agree on that. You're definitely in the top 3 category for that. How does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, I think, for example, like, my peaks aren't as high as, like, Skither. Like, I think, let's say I constantly run at a 99% pace. I think Skither can outrun at 100%, but sometimes he runs at a 96 or 97%. I feel like I'm able to just every lap run at a consistent pace that's competitive, but not, like, alien. And I think that's what helps a lot. And this car, especially with how easy it is on the tires, you know, I don't think there's anyone in the league who could, in a different car, who could contend with this car and me over a stint, which is, you know, to be expected. It's a Red Bull, but yeah, it's just been good. It's been a good season, and I mean, I love races like this because it's not like I had a huge pace advantage on everyone. I mean, I was only a few tenths a lot quicker once
Sure,
I
you
put
wanted
the
to.
battery. Yeah, when I wanted to. That was mostly battery. When I set the fastest laps and gap increase. But after that, I mean, it's just slowly pulling out the gaps, not making mistakes, and yeah. When I spin and stuff like Monza, it's just usually, like you said, people battle each other, not focused on keeping a Red Bull that's probably 10 miles an hour faster than on a straight line behind, and kind of just let me go through and win these races. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Next season, looking at how the Red Bulls perform in real life, should be a similar gap. Don't know if the driver gap will be there though. I mean, I'm not gonna. I sweat this game a lot when it first came out, and I think that's what made me decent enough to not have to practice as much for these races and like show up and still be competitive. But I mean, next game I'm not gonna have the time to practice when it first comes out, so, or the motivation. So I mean, Maybe next season it'll flop. Maybe Reese will be the first driver. I'll be the second driver. We'll have to see. But
Maybe. Depends on if pace improves or not.
Yeah.
Well, fastest lap, man.
oh, I got Grand
And,
Slam today, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I didn't. There wasn't a lap I didn't lead.
Forgot about that. You mentioned wanting to do that. Fair play. How fitting. How fitting. Especially at the track you got your first podium, too. Back in Season 7. Yeah, so fastest lap, man. TP, man. And now champion, man. Congrats on the championship. J&T, I'm going to go to you first, then Titan. Do you guys have any questions for Cookie?
Why are you so good? Stop.
I don't know. Ask my mom.
Yeah,
No.
alright, get her on the mic. Let me ask you.
No, I don't live with my mom, big dog.
Call her.
No, I'm so good, bro. There's so many things I'd rather do. But no,
Alright, what would you rather do?
go to the gym, and I need to go to the gym in like a minute.
Oh, W.
But yeah, no, I like I said, I think I'm just consistently decently quick. I think that's something that I've improved on this game is I'm much more consistent. I don't know if it's PC or what, but like I feel like on PC you're able to just be way more consistent driving. Like not much quicker, but just you're able to just drive consistently. I don't know. On
Yeah,
Xbox,
because you
I
get
struggle.
consistent frame rate.
I guess I don't know, but
He's ready for his documentary video now.
yeah. What about you?
Titan.
What about you, Titan, Iron Wolf, whatever?
Didn't make today, but here you are.
Yeah, but yeah, Cookie. I just want to say, unfortunately, wasn't
Congrats,
able
by the
to
way.
make the race. I wasn't able to make the race, but I was able to watch it at the end. So congrats to you for becoming the second American in RPL to win an F1 championship.
Where's my
First one
American
was
flag
Skipper.
blanket?
Um,
Oh, there it is.
Red Bull getting their sixth straight constructors, their fourth drivers championship in Tier 1 history. When you
Wow.
were mentioning about consistency, I will say this: your championship did have a few hiccups, like with Baku and Canada when you were facing with track limit penalties or penalties in the steward's office. But there was also the times where Imola you had controls messing you up, and then Singapore where you got basically got given the middle finger and disqualified for blocking the pit exit. How do you keep that? How do you keep that focus when things go wrong, into focusing into your next couple of races or as the race progresses?
Yeah, sure. Also, this is gonna be my last question because I do gotta go.
That's all right.
Sorry, guys. But no, I feel like the only time I've been truly like stressed this season was after Imola when I crashed, or when my controller like disconnected and my car got DSQ'd. Where Skither was only 10 points behind me, and then we were going into Monaco, and I knew that that was not going to be a me track. I think that was the only time I was like I felt stressed. But after that, I mean, after that I won Monaco, then I won every single race pretty much up until God, how many did I win in a row? Holy shit! I'm just looking at results.
3 or 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
4 at one point.
Yeah, I won every race pretty much up until Spa, and then I missed a race for Netherlands. But yeah. So I mean, I think that was when I was actually like really stressed out. I was like, oh shit, Skither's about to match me on points in McLaren. But no, I pulled through, and then realistically, I don't really have much of an ego, but I feel like I should have won at least 16 races this season out of 18. I think Baku, I got fucked over by this shitty rule about the pit lane, which didn't affect my race whatsoever. I won that, and then Imola, I think I would have won as well, just fucking controller issues. And then Singapore, I think I would have won even if I had that spin. Yeah, if I didn't just get disqualified. And I think the only race I feel like I've deserved to lose was Canada. So, yeah, and even Canada, I mean, I just got track limit penalties, but. Yeah, I think that's the only race I deserve to lose. I feel like I've been kind of shafted over, but also it's really hard to say that when this has been such a successful season. But yeah, I'm hoping to end the season off by winning the last 5 in a row, and then move on to next season where I hope I'll be at least 10% as consistent as I am. I really don't think that I'm going to be the quickest. I think people like Gecko and people like Skither are going to be quicker than me, especially if Codemasters make the cars a little closer in pace, which they probably will.
Well, since you said
Only-
that you plan to win the next 5, just bear in mind you just need 3 more wins and you'll smash Luke's record.
Yeah, that's the goal. I'm gonna try to get.
of wins in a season. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Vegas is probably one of my fastest tracks, and I think I'm gonna. I mean, and I think I'm gonna smash it there. Hopefully, not literally. And then after Vegas, I mean, the 4 tracks after that are pretty easy to do.
Only 2 guys have won 7 or more in a row in RPL Tier 1. So, and you're one of only 4 guys 5 different times to win 4 in a row. You did it from Austria to Belgium. So yeah, fair point there. And if you do win the next 5, that is 7 in a row. So
I'll
fair
do my
play.
best. I'll do my best, but
I hope you do. I'd
I'll
love
catch
to
you
see
guys
it.
later.
Most wins in a season.
Yeah.
You got that you're chasing now, and more records to come after that too. You've smashed some this season, and you got more to smash.
Yeah, if
throughout
I can hit
the rest of this and
2020, if I can hit 24 running and I win the first race, I'll have a lot more confidence. But I really, it completely depends on how I feel. Like I've never, the slowest I've ever been on a game was probably 2022, where I started here and I was like probably 7th or 8th quickest in the league, maybe. Like at the time, I know I was much slower than Luke, but yeah, hopefully we'll hit the gun running, and I'll be able to.
2 more wins to tie it, 3 more to beat it for most wins in a season, and of course other records can still be beaten besides that. So yeah, that's the one you're looking at right now. Win 15, 10 behind Skither right now, third on the list.
Yep, cool. All right, thank you guys. You guys are always great at
Enjoy.
commentating.
Congrats.
Take care,
you.
Cookie.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Let's go.